Hello, my name's Hayley Bates. I work for Little Scientists. We're a professional development company specialising in STEM in early childhood. And I'm going to show you a couple of tricks today in order to find the STEM situations in your centre, or maybe extend on one of the activities that you've set up. Okay, so I have my STEM starter cards here. Each one of these cards has a different situation that you might find in your centre, but so we've got some colouring or on your way near your centre. We've got bubbles, we have jumping in puddles, we've got a blue banded bee, that's a native bee that's stingless. Okay, we've even got somebody doing the laundry, cooking. You get the general idea. Okay, and I've selected two cards today. I have drying up and I have hand washing with the bubbles. Okay, and that could also be washing up as well, couldn't it? All right, and the other part of these cards have each card has the symbols on the back here, and that they're quite handy. And we've got a breakdown here. So each one of our workshops comes with a different symbol, and it's a different area of STEM. And we're just going to use those to help us look at these situations in a different way each time. So taking the hand washing first, okay? We've got some running water here, we've got bubbles, and we're going to look at this situation through these different lenses, and hopefully it'll spark some conversations and some ideas. So the first symbol I'm going to pick is the human body. So we can have a conversation with the children about the importance of hand washing, why we wash our hands, what is on our hands that means that we have to wash our hands. We can talk about the technique of washing hands, all sorts of things to do with the human body. Okay. Another one is the mathematics symbol. Now, I've done a few videos on our range of videos called Little Scientists at Home about bubbles. And if you look, the bubbles in this particular picture all do seem to be round. But we have a video on our series of Little Scientists at Home that show that bubbles are not always round, and it's a very nice mathematics activity to do with bubbles. Okay, we've got an optics one here. Now, I'm not sure you can see it on this card easily, but each one of these bubbles has a slight shimmer on it that looks like a rainbow. So we could look at it from an optics point of view. We could investigate rainbows. We could investigate other ways of making rainbows. We could look at the colours involved. We could paint different bubbles, and perhaps we could pull out some STEM that way. We have a water symbol here. So you get the idea. If we keep applying all these different situations, we can get an enormous amount of STEM out of an everyday situation. The water symbol, we could look at the fact that we could talk about running taps and leaving the tap running, and maybe just getting a technique for getting our hands clean without wasting quite as much water. Okay, we could talk about how the fresh water gets into our tap and how it is cleaned, and we could talk about maybe we could use a STEM starter like the wombat stew, and we could then try and clean, after making our wombat stew and adding all our bugs and our dirt and our leaves, we could then try and clean the water. Okay, going on to the back of the card, we've got acoustics. We can talk about the noise that the tap makes and the noise that the dripping water makes. We could talk about air. Actually, that's quite a good one. How do we dry our hands? Do we use an air dryer? Do we use a cloth? And that also adds into our washing up as well, because we've got a little girl here drying our drying cups. What sort of towels are good for drying hands or drying cups? Do we, that's a design and technology activity where we look at the materials used for drying cups. So we could look at whether a towel or a tea towel or a piece of raincoat material would be best to dry a cup, and why. Does a piece of tent-like material repel water? Does it help dry cups? And we can talk about the different cloths that we're using. We could look at chemical reactions. We could look at different types of soap and different types of bubble mix and see which ones work the best. So you get the general idea. If you look at the situation through different areas of STEM and different STEM symbols, then that will help you pick out the STEM activities in every day. Now, there'll be an accompanying sheet to this video. So if you hop on our website, you might be able to find that, download the PDF, and that will give you a hand and a little mini tutorial on how to spot the STEM in everyday situations. Our STEM cards are available on our website, and there's also a card which gives you hints and tricks on using these as well. So hop on our website and have a look at the STEM starter kit, starting a STEM conversation.